Good morning, leaders. I have a question for you. How often do you arrive to a mountaintop and like, wow, this is awesome, look around for 10 seconds, then immediately are drawn to the horizon and the next mountain? How often does that happen to you? So we're almost at the end of the year, and this is a time when we often do that. We've, come to our mountaintop, we've hit our goals or got close or exceeded them, whatever we've done, we are at the end of our journey for the year, right? How often do you then just quickly look and see, wow, that's amazing out there. I didn't know that you can see all this from up here. And your mind is immediately drawn to the next mountain. And you start talking about, wow, we're going to conquer that mountain. We're going to conquer that mountain. And in the distance, that mountain looks easy to conquer. In fact, it may look smaller than the mountain you're currently on, even though in your mind, you know, by the topographical map, that next mountain is a 14er. I think they call that out west. It's a very high mountain, right? So this morning in our wolf pack, as we call it here at Keller Williams Elite, our wolf pack is a group of our leadership team from the book that Abby Wambach wrote called Wolf Pack, which if you haven't read it, read it. It'd be a great leadership book for you to kind of talk about how a wolf pack guides its group along the way. The weak run first, and the leader is actually in the back of the pack. Back to what we're talking about here. So when you hit your mountaintop, we naturally look ahead, and sometimes we forget how far we've come. So I took ESO with Jason Abrams and Brian Gunernick, probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago maybe. So it was before, back when we could meet in person. And Brian said he had this exercise where he had us look back, write down all the things we've accomplished, and that exercise helps you. You go internal and you realize, wow, we've come a long way. So this morning here at Keller Williams Elite with our leadership team, it's myself, Rob, Lindia, Lacey, and Molly, we looked back and wrote some notes about how far we've come. So we're on the mountaintop, right? And I was talking about how grateful I am for getting into relationship with new agents. In the last 2 or 3 years, we've really connected with some really great agents here that are just good business owners. And then when I look at how they compare to the ones that were here, they're very similar. We have a really good group of heart open, solid business people, and I'm so grateful for that. Molly talked about her being here for over a year, changed her life. And even outside of work, her life is different because of the people she's met here. How fantastic is that? Lindia talked about how her growth as a leader shifted and her personal life. That's so good. And then Rob told the story of Delrod in the PC program helping another agent, and just results through people and collaborating. Just really a proud moment to look back how far we've come. Then we sat back and said, what's our next mountain, right? And next week, we're going to look at, as a team, we're going to look at how we're going to get to the next mountain. And there's not a zip line from this mountain to the next mountaintop. There's not a zip line straight across. We're going to have to come back off this mountain and back up that mountain. And the lesson I'm learning is that what took us to get to the top of this may be different than takes us to the top of the next mountain. So there's a book, I think it's Jim Collins, What Got You Here Won't Get You There. Has a picture of a ladder and then the next ladder. So we will come off this mountain. It may mean we dismantle some of the systems that helped us get to this, and we're going to have to create new systems. That's what we mean when we say we're going to break all the systems as we go to the next level. It might be the next agent count level, next production level, next level of how we impact our community. Whatever the next mountaintop is, there's going to be new systems, and it's going to stress things. And we talked about how dismantling some of these systems, we're going to have some internal stress with that because we worked hard to build these systems, and yet we have to be disconnected because we're not on this mountaintop anymore. We're going to go down to the valley, and when we do it together, it's not the valley of despair. We're going to have to cross over a roaring river, I'm sure, because in every valley there's a roaring river with some juggernaut and some keystone logs you have to unlock to let it flow again. My friends, as you think on that, take time to look back with your team. Do this exercise together. Write down all the things that you're grateful for that you've accomplished together, and maybe start thinking about the systems that you may have to dismantle in order to create new systems to get to the next mountaintop. Love you guys. Merry Christmas. And if I don't see you before, Happy New Year.